Alright, so what I need for y'all to do, all my beginner DJs, I need y'all to link up with some of these veteran DJs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bridge the gap today.
So, because I was like, I'm gonna go out here and figure out how to make a solution to it, and my career has been growing, it's been great. You know, and A-Cee, I came today because A-Cee, T.O., I didn't know LL was gonna be here, but really because of those two to say, these are cats I'm connected with that have seen what happens when you really want to make a solution to something. You want to make more money? Fine, talk with me. If you have an idea and you're like, we're about to launch this, and I'll ask you one question. Number one, how much do you love doing it? Number two, how much money do you want to make doing it?
So I began charging for the market. After a while, I ended up being booked for the market that paid the most, to where I didn't have time to worry about the market that couldn't pay that rate. So all of a sudden, my price became the upper market.
Who plays salsa music? Some of the hands is gonna go down. Who plays blues? Who plays cocktail music? Okay, there's a couple hands, but here's a swing. Who does their own flyers?
Not me.
That saves you money, right? That's what I started doing, it saves me money. Who shoots their own videos? Who has their own press kit? You see how the hands kind of vary in there? When you start offering things that other DJs don't offer is what makes you valuable.
How do DJs feel that grew up in the market where everybody was partying, get on the floor and they sweat the shirt out? All of a sudden you come to this market right here, you're playing the top 20 songs, this, that, and another, you're playing all the hits, and this is what your dance floor look like. All the dudes standing over here with a drink doing like this. And all the women twerking on each other. You looking at the floor like, what? Why am I here? That's when it's time to pass the torch.
But I did that little set. I even messed it up. I was so mad. But I mean, he still paid me $600. I mean, it was nothing. I mean, so anyways, I said all that to say, if that resource is out there, if you can find more online things like that, I mean, it is kind of easy money. And those corporate gigs, I mean, they make a killing. I mean, yeah, and I'm not really, I just DJ for the fun. This isn't really, I'm not trying to make a career out of it. This is just, I just like DJing. But there's money to be made if you look for it.
That person is better to negotiate. Like he's saying, he's going through basically a talent scout, if you want to say in another word, but he's getting him paid. So if you're not the guy to sit down and negotiate with a client, for whatever reason it may be willing to accept that somebody else can, and go from there. There's a lot of agencies out here that allow you to come on their site, or they negotiate prices for you, but you got to pay them a cut. So you hard up on the business side of it, you can't do the business side of it. There are people that will. I'm actually willing to. I've actually worked out contracts for a number of different people just to handle the gigs. Never had that experience with $100 or $150. It's just something I wasn't ever willing to accept. I don't know. I've done some free stuff for family and friends, but for the most part, I've never been hungry enough to take low budget gig per se. But everybody pretty much saying the same thing. Know your craft, know your venue, know the people, and charge what you're worth. If that's not what you want to take, then walk away from it and let somebody else handle it. And one other way is doing these circles right here, increasing the number of DJs, get to the point where everybody know what's being charged. So everybody's on the same sheet of music. That's how you do it. So as this grows, that market should grow. As you bring in all the new DJs or all the other DJs that are around here running around, they probably don't know you're charging $500 to $1,000 for the same gig. So if you get them into this mix and let them know, hey, look, you're undercutting yourself too. At the same time, you're sweating your balls off for $100 when you actually could make $5. And if you're willing to make $5, y'all join together, get the crowd together, whatever, and you make it happen. But I think that as this grow, like, there you go. As you said earlier, as this grow and the more people y'all get involved in this, I think the numbers will go up on the baseline. Seriously.
It's okay in the very beginning to give a discount, because that's what you're trying to do, to show you craft and show people that who you're made of and what you're made of. But I think the problem is if you get caught up in those discounts. Like the first gig that I did for a promoter, Trey, you remember this promoter? One of the first promoters I DJ for back in North Carolina. The first party I did was for $75. I was just trying to get on. I was just trying. It was like I was opening up like an hour or something. Yeah, it was like an hour, and I didn't have to use my own stuff. I was using another DJ stuff. So I rocked for about an hour, and I did it for $75. First club gig. So what happens is, where I went wrong is I got caught up in that $75 because every week he called me to come back. He kept calling me to come back. And at one time, I was doing like 3 nights for him, like every single week. And I got so caught up in the $75, $75. And this was back when we was carrying wax. So when he called me back the next week,
you can't draw a picture if you don't have your canvas and your paint brushes and your paint, you know what I mean? So that's what this is as far as, you know what I'm saying, the art. Now with the controllers or whatever, however, it's just technology has made it a little easier, you know what I'm saying, to manipulate music. So, I mean, if you into manipulating music more, then your controller aspect is probably better, you know what I'm saying, for you. But if you like showing off, cutting, you know what I'm saying, scratching or whatever, however, then nothing beats the 1200. I mean, they got other turntables, no disrespect to, you know what I'm saying, Stanton. Stanton actually has a good, you know what I'm saying, sturdy turntable, but it ain't nothing like 12, man.
Well, also I think as far as how equipment goes, it's funny that we talk about this because probably about almost 2 years ago, if everybody can remember, we had the meet and greet up at way up there somewhere. Everything is always way up there somewhere. And we had one gentleman to come in that brought his controller in, and we had a session to talk about it, right? When it was his time to talk about the controller and tell us about everything we do, everybody just totally disrespected the game. They went to talking, went to eating, and he trying to explain about video, this, that, and the other, ABC 1, 2, 3. Less than 2 years later, 90% of the people in that room has a controller. It's just the way the market goes. If you've been in Guitar Center lately, some of us won't even know how to start the music. When you walk in there, it looks like Darth Vader bathroom. Everything has lights and it's glowing. And woo, woo, woo. That's just where it done went. As far as why do we continue to go to this? Because certain things in hip hop has one status. One status. Status shoe of hip hop, what is it? Adidas. Status tool of this art is a Technique 1200. It don't matter who makes it. So when we buy them, you buy them as reaching that plateau. I couldn't afford them at 16, so now I try to buy every one that I can get. So I got some Bestech 12. I got some Bestech turntables. I got some the Bestech joints that everybody got. I got them. I got the double thing, the hybrid thing that TTX that got the CD drive and the this, that, and the on it. But my goal was not finished until I started buying these. That's why we stick with them. We are artists. The unique thing about us is we are artists. We are artists with endless hits. We can play anybody thing we want. This is our tool. It's made to go one way, forward and back. And when you get a guy that can take one instrument that goes forward and back and manipulate it in a way to make you say, wow, that's always the wow factor of this versus the controller. And that's why people love this art, because again, no matter how many bells and whistles they put in that controller, they'll automatically do it. Guys done stayed up front all night learning how to back-to-back, two-stroke, this, that, and the other, and the guy that come playing next year, all he got to do is, y'all remember when he came out with the Spader start technology and all you had to do was do this and it start from the cue point? Now he back-to-backing like this. Back-to-backing like this. We can't knock it though, because all of us use technology as we went. Guys before us used turntables that didn't have pitches. 45 King used to rock 45s without pitches. So I'm pretty sure those guys look at us and be like, so the pitch, to our generation, the pitch is innovation. So we use it. So we use it. So when the guys start cracking on the sync button and all of this, the sync may not be for you. Some of us really need to make the sync for us. Some of us need to make the sync for us. And if you're using it, it don't matter as long as you don't have a train wreck. If you go bowling and you need to put your bumpers up so your ball won't go in the alley, put them up. You got 100 people out here to entertain, and you don't need no train wreck.
Y'all give good answers, but also in the question, why do we stick to turntables why don't we go to the newer turntables that does more things, like turntables with the cue point, the turntables with the USBs, the turntables with double pitches?
It's funny that you mentioned that though, because I remember I had posted that question even just before I bought these stands. I had some 1200s. But my thing was, and it's funny because in my marketing class that I'm currently enrolled in, we talk about the same thing, and it's simply called brand loyalty, right? Some people who like Apple phones don't like Android phones. Some people who like BMWs don't like Mercedes, vice versa. This is what DJs know, and DJs like myself, who's kind of new, who's still new, and I'm 8 years in the game, and I'm still new because I'm still learning. I have more options available to me, and that's why I posed that question, because I wanted to know, well, why don't DJs have, you know what I'm saying, a turntable where you can manipulate the pitch between 8, 16, 25, or whatever. It's not going to do nothing but enhance your skill. You're going to be able to mix more music or whatever, but I understand it really just boils down to brand loyalty. DJs who are loyal to techniques are just strict loyalty. This is cool. You know what's that? Great answer.
Let me add to that. The biggest thing that I see with a lot of DJs is the fear of learning something new. Now, there's a ton of DJs in here. Who in here doesn't scratch? Okay, so there's a couple that don't scratch. So it makes no sense to y'all to go out and buy a rain mixer with an innovator in it, because you don't need it. But for someone who does scratch, that's the mixer to go to. So when it comes down to things like the software, the turntables, whatnot, if it's something like the Reloop 8000's got the cue points, if you don't use cue points, what's the point of buying it? The equipment, we're looking at it backwards. We're looking at it, hey, it's cheating, but it's also a way to enhance your performance, teach you something new. If you don't want to advance yourself, you don't want to learn something new, you don't want to step your game up, you're not going to buy that next level of gear because you are a tunnel vision into what you know. If you just mix records, all you need is 2 turntables and a mixer. That's it. But if you want to create beats and whatnot, you need a machine, you need the dices, you need a computer, you need all this stuff. It's fear of learning something new.
Thank y'all for coming out here. We do appreciate it. We do a show down on 89.3, and the fellas, you know, they come rock out with us. But if any of you all are ever free, please come out and hang with us. Y'all know it is independent radio, so we can play whoever. You know, we do have to abide by FCC rules, but as far as, you know, what we're playing, our selection can be whatever. So, you know, there's so many independent artists here in the city that like really could use that outlet, and we always need DJs to come and rock out for us. So please come rock out with us. We're on Wednesdays. We do 10 a.m. until noon, and then again from midnight until 3. So if anyone's free during those hours, please let me know. We truly appreciate it. And here at the store, we're here. We've been here in Cumberland for 16 years. The only, you know, black store in the mall rocking out this long. So if ever you all have free time and want to come rock out, please let us know. Come hang out with us and bring your CDs, bring whatever you sell. You got t-shirts or whatever. So we do thank my auntie and uncle Asia. Please tell folks about us. You know, please do tell them. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Rock out.